This is the QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studio on Caraba Avenue, and I am Andy Kerma. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. In preparation for Tobaski, the Gambia Transport Service Company GTSC on Thursday commences Tobaski special operations for its customers intending to travel nationwide. As Muslims prepare for the Tobaski festival, the Banjul-Barra ferry crossing point has seen an increase in passengers traveling between the southern and northern parts of the country. Stakeholders at the Ministries of Trade and Higher Education and partners this week validated the National Human Capital Development Strategy and Action Plan 2024-2030. The Resilience of Organization for Transformative Smallholder Agriculture Routes project held round 2 of the youth-based matching grant award ceremony on Wednesday. In international news, today, the 13th of June, is International Albinism Awareness Day. This year's commemoration is special as it marks a decade since it was first commemorated. Those were the headlines, now the news in detail. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News. In preparation for the Tobaski feast on the 16th of June 2024, the Gambia Transport Service Company GTSC on Thursday commenced its Tobaski special operations for its customers intending to travel to celebrate with family and friends. Lolly M. Kamara visited the station and filed this report.
This special operation is scheduled for the 3 days leading up to the Tobaski. Starting today, Thursday, through to Saturday, buses are provided by the Gambia Transport Service Company, GTSC. As the holiday approaches, the company is taking measures to ensure efficient transportation for its customers intending to travel. Mamadou Lamin Fati, Marketing Officer at GTSC, elaborates.
We started the operation as early as 3 a.m. So some of our staff were here who are responsible for the task force committee to make sure that we started deploying these buses at 5 o'clock. So daily we are deploying 30 buses. Daily, 30 buses that will be going across the length and breadth of the Gambia. But this deployment in the Tobaski operation, one may ask if it is disrupting some of our other scheduled services. So 30 buses are going every day, and then 10 scheduled buses that are normal scheduled buses are also in addition. So 40 buses are in this operation, but that does not disturb our UTG services.
Lamin Sane, the Revenue Controls Manager for GTSC, reveals that the introduction of the pre-booking ticketing system has had a great impact on their operations.
Everything is going on smoothly. Passengers are getting their boarding pass, since day before yesterday, and they are boarding amicably. I can say since 5 a.m. we've been able to depart about 5 services every hour. And then, alhamdulillah, we are on our 9 o'clock special service to Basse. Yeah. Alhamdulillah, everything is going on smoothly. We thank God for that. And we thank our passengers as well.
Some of the passengers we engaged shared their experiences.
I am going to Bansang and I have been here since 7 a.m. and there is no bus. I booked the 9 a.m. bus and it is after 9 with no sign of us going. And I have got my children with me.
I was given a boarding pass for 6:30 a.m. and since then I have been here with no driver to take us. And there are children and women inside the bus who haven't taken food. I think they need to work hard to respect time.
Since in the 5 o'clock we are here, still now. Some people up to 3 o'clock, they cannot even go. I don't know what is the problem. They are not organizing, and when they promise the customers they are going to do the service normal, but they couldn't do that. And people are complaining.
The feast of Eid al-Adha also known as Tobaski, is a major celebration for Muslims and sees a large influx of travelers in and out of the country. GTSC Tobaski special operations will include increased bus services and extended operating hours. The company hopes to make the festival travel experience as stress-free and enjoyable as possible for all passengers. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
As Muslims prepare for the Tobaski festival, the Banjul-Barra ferry crossing point has seen an increase in passengers traveling between the southern and northern parts of the country. Despite only one ferry being operational, the general manager of Gambia Ferry Services has reported normal operations, assuring faster and safer transportation of his customers during the festival period. Momodu Lamin Choi was at the Banjul ferry terminal, and here is the latest.
It's a moment of rushing at Gambia's busiest ferry crossing point. The ferry service has reached its peak as it records its highest customer demand. The closer we get to the Muslim festival of Eid al-Adha, locally called Tobaski, the more people use the ferry to cross to other parts of the country and beyond to spend the Eid. Abdullah Tambedu is the general manager of the Gambia Ferry Services.
Actually, we made some plans in order to ensure that we evacuate all our passengers safely and timely. What we have done from this morning is that we have started selling tickets from 2 a.m. By 2 this morning, our team was on the ground to ensure that everybody who comes, we sell you ticket and we ensure that they are seated adequately, they are manifested. And by 5:30, 6 this morning, the first ferry departed. All that is done to ensure we operate safely and timely also.
Amid such high demand, only one ferry, the Kunta Kinte, is operating between the Banjul-Barra crossing points. While Kanila is undergoing major maintenance, could this slow down ferry services given the high demand?
What we have done is to improve, the sailing time has improved. Everybody knows that now between 15-20 minutes you are on the other bank. Not only the sailing time has been improved, but the terminal time also. The terminal time meaning the time that the ferry arrives to discharge and then load to ply the waters again. That one also has improved a lot. That is why for every 1 hour, we have a ferry departing from this end and another 1 hour departing from that end. We make, on average, 10 trips or more per day. And that we even used to struggle to have that, or we were having that with 2 ferries, both Kunta Kinte and Kanilai.
With new engines, the Kunta Kinte ferry has regained its former glory and appears to have become the #1 choice for travelers between the Banjul-Barra crossing points. In comparison, in the past, many preferred taking the local boats rather than the ferry, the reasons being availability and speed. Now, the speed, affordability and reliability of the Kunta Kinte ferry has left a smaller window of business opportunity for the small boats. Only a few people now take the boats, as Nyan is a commuter who regularly uses the ferry.
Transportation at this crossing point has become more convenient. We are now very happy. The only challenge here are those who enter the terminal and ferry premises and steal our belongings.
With only one ferry operational beyond the schedule, you could miss the ferry as the crossing time is now limited to between 5 a.m. and 9 p.m. as opposed to a longer time in the past. This schedule could be adjusted as we get closer to the feast.
As Eid al-Adha is right in the corner, the pilgrimage begins. A ferry fully packed with passengers and vehicles as families navigate through this major crossing point for the sacred celebration of Islam's biggest festival. In the hustle and bustle, patience is tested, resilience shines, and the journey becomes as significant as the destination. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Stakeholders at the Ministries of Trade and Higher Education and partners validated the National Human Capital Development Strategy and Action Plan 2024-2030 on Monday. Julian Jai has the story.
The ECOWAS Commission has put Human Capital Development, HCD, at the center of its priorities with a shared vision for 2030 as part of its 2030 HCD integrated strategy. This involves the ambitious objective to become Sub-Saharan Africa's top-performing regional economic community in HCD by 2030. In 2022, the Ministry of Trade received a letter from the ECOWAS Commission that they want each member state to facilitate the harmonization of the ECOWAS Regional Integrated Human Capital Development Strategy with national strategies. The National Human Capital Development Strategy for the Gambia 2024-2030 is funded by the ECOWAS Commission and outlines a comprehensive framework to foster the development of the country's most valuable asset, its people. Anchored on the new recovery-focused National Development Plan 2023-2027, 3 priority areas were identified for the Gambia following an extensive stakeholder consultation. This include health and nutrition, education and skills development, employment, and inclusive economic opportunities. Dr. Yusufa Toure, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Higher Education, highlights the importance of the strategy.
We've never got it right. That is probably because we have not done this. So to do this now, I am of the view that we are ready. We are ready to take the bull by the horn, and we are ready as a country to develop our human capital in the right way.
Lamin Damfa, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Trade, urges all stakeholders to maintain the spirit of collaboration and partnership.
The success of this strategy hinges on our ability to work together, leveraging our strength and resources for the common good. The Ministry is committed to providing the necessary support to ensure the effective execution of this strategy.
Despite progress in healthcare, education and employment, challenges such as high unemployment rates, informality, skills mismatches, and health inequalities persist. Here is Professor Pierre Gomez, the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology.
To build a country, you need a well-trained citizenry. Are we getting it right? Do we have the foot soldiers who will build this nation? When you are coming along the way, the road network and so on, a good number of the workers there are non-Gambians. How can we have development when the foundation of our core development agenda is in the hands of non-Gambians? You cannot have a borrowed system and expect to have a sustainable development. So reclaim what is yours. Reclaim the agenda.
Minister Gomez pledges Moha's commitment to lead all the players in what he describes as this noble national call that has the potential to help the Gambia realize the vision of a prosperous and inclusive socio-economic development where every citizen can achieve their full potential. For QTV News, I am Julden Njai.
We'll now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more local and international news stories. Do stay tuned.
Get a QCell SIM card for free. Yes, absolutely free. Walk into any of our customer care centers and get a SIM free of charge. With a QCell SIM card, you can get the fastest and the most reliable internet plus wide range of amazing services. So rush now to any of our care centers and get a free SIM now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell Sunyubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply. Tobaski Fiesta! Celebrate this Tobaski with the biggest and the cheapest data and voice promo in the Gambia. Get social media bundles for all your favorite sites. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, TikTok, Snapchat, Telegram, and X for as low as $15 for 100 megabytes or $60 for 1 gigabyte. You can't beat that! Or buy the Kacha bundle and get 1 gigabyte data with unlimited voice calls for just $100 and stay connected with family, friends and loved ones. Dial *343# and choose option 1 to subscribe. So rush now and be part of the Tobaski Fiesta with QCell. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell Sunyubus. We innovate. Orders follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. The resilience of Organization for Transformative Smallholder Agriculture Roots Project held round 2 of the youth-based Marching Grant Awards ceremony on Wednesday. Momodu Kajaga has the details.
86 Gambian youths have been awarded youth-based marching grants by the Resilience of Organization for Transformative Smallholder Agriculture Roots Project. Based on their business proposals, each successful applicant will receive up to $7,500, roughly $500,000, with beneficiaries contributing 10% of the total, up to $50,000, to encourage a sense of ownership and sustainability. The grant aims to enhance agricultural productivity and provide employment opportunities for youth across the country. Momor Aliu Jain is the Roots Project Director.
Doing our part to create employment and improve the livelihood of the youth in this country through agriculture is an integral part of what the Roots Project is mandated to do. So here we are with the second batch for the Youth Marching Grant.
Startups and existing expanding businesses are supported, with 15 in mechanized agricultural services, 23 in agro dealership, 8 in food processing, 38 in agro transport services, and 2 in agricultural equipment repair workshops. By gender, there are 35 females, 37 males, and 14 youth groups. The geographical distribution includes 19 in the Central River Region North, 17 in the North Bank Region, 16 in the Lower River Region, 12 in the Upper River Region, 11 in the West Coast Region, and 11 in the Central River Region South. Babukar Kebe, the CEO of the Gambia Startups Chamber of Commerce, advises the beneficiaries.
It is now your turn that you take this opportunity seriously and transform whatever idea that you had to utilize this grant. We are hoping that you will make the basis of the grant and that you are also going to create employment.
The beneficiaries will also receive technical and entrepreneurship training and mentorship services to ensure commercial viability and long-term sustainability. Laming Damfa, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, says this grant is an opportunity for beneficiaries to create employment through their businesses.
This opportunity is provided to you not to become job seekers, but to become job creators. But that's the only way we can create the national wealth. And it's important that we understand that you are out of almost 3 million Gambians, who could also benefit from this gesture, but you are the chosen one.
The Minister of Agriculture, Demba Sabali, says the Roots Project is one of the biggest agricultural projects under his ministry with immense benefits.
Youth, as you all know, constitute roughly 2/3 of our country's population, but face several challenges, including finding and sustaining gainful employment. As a result, the Roots Youth-Based Marching Grant is designed not only to improve agricultural productivity and marketing on one hand, but is also aimed at providing employment opportunity for youth across the country.
The main goal of Roots is to improve food security, nutrition and resilience of smallholder farmers to climate change in the Gambia. Momodu Gajaga, QTV News.
35 media personnel and local traditional Kanyalen Group traditional communicators attended training on the theme Promoting Women's Leadership Through Media. Don Williams, our media correspondent, was one of those who attended and filed this report.
Action Aid, the Gambia supports and promotes women's leadership through media to enhance sustainable development, conducted a one-day training at Kirwan in the governor's office. Women's leadership is the participation of women in positions of power and decision-making. Among the participants at this training were Famara Ramaturai Aruna Kuyate from GRTS, QTV's Don Williams, and participants from a wide range of media houses. In the opening ceremony, Binta MLCC, Women's Rights Manager Action Aid, and an organizer of the training outlined the training.
So we are here in the North Bank today with the Kanyalen Group, the traditional communicators, the media houses, so that we could look at the issues of women leadership. What are some of the issues that are hindering the promotion of women's rights. How can media houses engage with us so that we can do this promotion?
Fatou Jammeh Touré, the governor of the North Bank region, reminded participants of the challenges involved in advocating for women's rights in leadership.
We all know the key challenge is cultural in nature, is traditionally inclined. So getting the traditional communicators on board who are living with the society, who are deep-rooted into the cultures of the various societies, to come on board to help in the advocacy is more than important.
Governor Touré spoke of our expectations.
I'm hopeful, inshallah, a day will come when the Gambia will be a par with other countries as far as women advancement is concerned. It's just a matter of putting certain things in order, tightening some knots. And those we have realized, and we know the issues, we know the challenges. So we just have to accept the challenges. Now these are challenges that are within us as women.
Mamjara Kamara, a reporter and presenter of Nyomi FM station, gave her assessment of the training.
The session so far has been so very interesting because the woman governor, that is Fatou Jammeh, has come and made certain points that were very important, telling women that they should go for education, they should not let anything hinder them, that they can handle positions that men are also handling. So the training so far has been so very interesting, educating, and so very inspiring.
As we strive towards a more equitable future in institutional capacity, we must focus on filling the pipeline with qualified women candidates and fixing the broken wrong that often impedes their progression to senior leadership roles. Don Williams, QTV News, reporting from Kerewan.
We will now take a look at news outside the country. Today, the 13th of June, is International Albinism Awareness Day. This year's commemoration is special as it marks a decade since it was first commemorated. Jennifer Sonko has the details.
On December 18, 2014, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution establishing this day to bring visibility to the genetic condition of albinism, as well as to people with albinism, their achievements and the difficulties they continue to face on a daily basis in many countries. Albinism is a rare, non-contagious, genetically inherited difference present at birth. The condition is found in both sexes, regardless of ethnicity, and in all countries of the world. Albinism results in a lack of pigmentation, melanin, in the hair, skin and eyes, causing vulnerability to the sun and bright light. Albinism is most prevalent in sub-Saharan Africa, including the Gambia, with estimates of 1 in 5,000 to 1 in 15,000. There is an association of albinos in the Gambia, leading efforts to raise awareness and provide peer-to-peer support. The association has provided support such as successfully launching vision screening at the Sheikh Zayed Regional Eye Care Center in Kanifing, amongst other initiatives. Here is our boy, Secretary General of the Association of Gambian Albinos.
This day is to raise awareness, sensitize the public, that's the masses, about albinism, the condition about albinism, the extremely difficult condition that we do face. We celebrate the successes being made by persons and groups with albinism worldwide. Yeah, this is the basis for the day, and every day is an albinism awareness day. Yeah, but this day is a special day. In the Gambia, we will celebrate it after Tobaski because we all know that we are on the preparation for the Tobaski and everybody is busy. So we will do our media sensitization like what I'm doing currently, but after Tobaski we'll have a program for it.
Individuals with albinism face a high risk of skin cancer, which is responsible for at least 80% of deaths according to the UN. This risk is so significant that 90% of people with albinism do not live beyond the age of 40. On International Albinism Awareness Day, countries are supposed to celebrate the strides made within the movement with renewed commitment for the future by highlighting the tireless efforts of albinism groups from around the world and reflect on the continued legal, policy and practical changes still required to ensure the full and equal enjoyment of rights by persons with albinism. Reporting for KTV News, I am Jennifer Sonko.
Before we end, here's a recap of the headlines. In preparation for Tobaski, the Gambia Transport Service Company GTSC on Thursday commenced its Tobaski special operations for its customers intending to travel nationwide. As Muslims prepare for the Tobaski festival, the Banjul-Barra ferry crossing point has seen an increase in passengers traveling between the southern and northern parts of the country. Stakeholders at the Ministries of Trade and Higher Education and partners this week validated the National Human Capital Development Strategy and Action Plan 2024-2030. The Resilience of Organization for Transformative Smallholder Agriculture Roots Project held round 2 of their youth-based Matching Grant Award ceremony on Wednesday. In international news, today, the 13th of June, is International Albinism Awareness Day. This year's commemoration is special as it marks a decade since it was first commemorated. That's all we have for you in this bulletin. Join us at 10 p.m. tonight for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.